Good evening and welcome to Horizon Christian High School for tonight's 3A State of Oregon quarterfinal matchup between the Horizon Christian Hawks and the Santiam Christian Eagles. Along with my analyst Jim Patterson, I'm Fletcher Johnson. Pleasure to have you along here on Play On Sports. And Jim, let's first take a look at the 3 seed in this matchup, the Santiam Christian Eagles, who come in with a 9-2 overall record.
Well, they're out of the Pac West Conference, and this will be their 10th playoff game in 3 years. So David Lang, the head coach of the Eagles, really says, as you talk to him about this game, this is a game where playoff experience is going to mean a lot because they've been here. Like I said, this is their 10th playoff game in 3 years, and they're going to be led by their quarterback, Grant Schroeder, tonight on offense.
Horizon Christian won the toss, deferred to the second half, so they will kick off. They are in the dark uniforms, black helmets, black shirts, and pants. And Santiam Christian wearing the white helmets, white jerseys, and black pants. Horizon Christian is led by George Crace, their head coach. They finished second in the Pac West Conference, coming in 7-2 overall record. It's really been feast or famine. When they've won big, and when they've lost, they haven't necessarily been in the game. We'll kick things off, and it's taken at the 32, and straight up the middle. Across midfield, does he have the speed? Eventually knocked down as he gets taken down inside the 30-yard line. At the 25-yard line is number 51, Micah Rupp, the senior defensive lineman.
Well, and Fletcher, I'm sure that they had Horizon Christian did not have any idea that Micah Rupp, one of the up guys, who would catch the little short pooch kick, would take the ball up the sideline and get it inside the Horizon 25-yard line. Good run back by Rupp.
Senior quarterback Grant Schroeder leads the Eagle offense out. One back behind him. He'll roll out to the left, throw the ball down the field, and bounces off the hands and chest of his wide receiver, Devin Horn. So first down, incomplete pass out on the coverage for Horizon was number 3, Colton Cosner.
Santiam Christian runs out of the spread formation. They'll go 3 and 4 receivers wide, one back in the backfield with Schroeder. And their preference is to throw the football, but they also have a pretty good running game, and we can talk about that a bit later.
Handoff will go up the middle. Finds a little bit of running room, does Trenton Jancy. Flag comes out. He gets the ball down close to the 20-yard line, but we'll have to check the flag.
As I talked with head coach of the Hawks, George Crace, before the game, the biggest concern he had, Fletcher, was their starting 4 freshmen in the football game. They're obviously offensively playing without their big gun Wyatt Houston, as the officials will march off a penalty for face mask against the Hawks. So a costly penalty is going to cost them. But George Crace said, you know, if Horizon Christian gets a good quick start, that's good for them. If Santiam Christian jumps out early, it could be a long night.
So it'll be first down and 10. The Eagles can get a first down inside the 1-yard line after the personal foul penalty is marked off. This time handoff will go up the middle. Nice shift to the left and bounces into the end zone. Does Trenton Jancy. So Santiam Christian out quickly here at Horizon Christian High School.
Well, a great job of blocking up front. The big fellas, Cody Monzi, an offensive lineman. Good hole, and he found the little crease. But again, the key for Horizon Christian, and Coach Crace talked about it again before the game, they have to be able to tackle. And that time, Jancy was able to break 2 tackles for the touchdown.
Junior Joe Pelly out to attempt the extra point. His kick is up and looked plenty good there as he puts it through the uprights. So Santiam Christian, after the long kick return that took the ball back inside the 30-yard line of the Hawks, gets on the board just a couple plays into the ball game, and they are on top 7-0. An opportunity to see Horizon Christian's offense now, as they will come out 7-2, as I mentioned, on the year. Their only losses of the season are to Rainier 42-26 and Dayton 57-38. And this team, as you mentioned, led by George Crace, very successful in the Pac West Conference.
Well, successful during the season, but playoff football, not something that they have been used to here. George Crace is building a program. Horizon Christian, a new school. And they're up against an opponent tonight in Santiam Christian out of the Corvallis area that, again, 10 playoff games in the last 3 years, in the state championship last year. an experienced team and a confident team tonight. So let's see what Horizon Christian does in terms of being able to bounce back after being scored on here early in the first quarter.
Pelly will kick off, and this one will go all the way down to number 89, Parker Beelan. He will take it up across the 25 before he's taken down out close to the 30-yard line. So this Horizon Christian team was led by quarterback Wyatt Houston, a 6'4", 240-pound senior. He is out with the shoulder injury tonight. So stepping into the quarterback role is Zach Sellen, the 6'3", 180-pound senior wide receiver who did spend some time throughout the year at quarterback, has a couple touchdowns through the air, but really did the majority of his damage out on the outside. He will take the snap with one back in the backfield with him, that being Taylor Grimmett. He'll drop the throw. Pressure comes, throws it deep down the field. Got a man, but just overthrows him. He was looking in the direction of Isaiah Hall as Hall got behind a couple of Eagle defenders.
Well, it doesn't surprise me that they would look for Isaiah Hall, who's playing out of the flex tight end formation. George Crace talked about the fact that they've only thrown the ball to him 3 times during the year. So he was a kid that obviously on film, Santiam Christian not expecting, and he was open. The ball was just overthrown. But keep in mind now, Selland is a guy who's played wide receiver, and between he and Houston, they've accounted for 40 touchdowns this year.
2nd down and 10 at the 29-yard line. Didn't look like Selland was ready for the snap. Throws the ball high. It's intercepted. Going the other direction for the Eagles, Jordan Wobig. He takes it back inside the 15-yard line of the Hawks, and the Eagles are in business once again.
And Horizon Christian, obviously turnovers, something that they need to try and avoid. And Selland, again, not a regular quarterback. He has played at that position several times throughout the year, but that time he just airmailed the wide receiver and the defender was able to make an easy pick.
Schroeder has Lang to his left on 1st down. Will keep it up the middle. Breaks a tackle, and he's into the end zone. One play and a touchdown. Make it number 2. Or as he comes down, marked down just short. Looked like he got in the end zone to me.
So I think they'll mark the ball because the knee was down before the ball crossed the goal line.
A nifty move inside by Schroeder. And will now go under center. He'll hand it off to Lang, who will walk into the end zone. So Santiam Christian out quickly here on the Horizon Christian Hawks. 10:55 left in the first quarter. The Eagles lead 13-0.
Well, in Santiam Christian, obviously we've talked about the experience in playoffs, but in terms of their physical size up front on the offensive line, much bigger on average per man. And the key for Horizon Christian will be to get back in the game, their ability to tackle. They really have not tackled well in these 2 defensive series, but a lot of that has to do with the great offensive line work by the Eagle front line.
Pelly's extra point is up and good. So 14-0. Santiam Christian on top, just 1 minute and 5 seconds into the ballgame. We'll be back with more after this here on Play on Sports.
You see us at the start of the day. On the company phone list that's a few names longer. You see U.S. Bank on busier highways, on once empty fields. Every day, you see all the ways all of us at U.S. Bank are helping grow our economy, lending more so companies and communities can expand, grow stronger, and get back to work. Every day, you see all of us serving you, around the country, around the corner. U.S. Bank.
Back with you at Horizon Christian High School. Santiam Christian on top 14-0. 10:55 left in the first quarter. And Jim, as we look at this one, just 1 minute and 5 seconds into the ball game. If you're George Crace and the Horizon Christian Hawks, how are you trying to keep your team's minds in the game?
Well, first of all, you're dealing with a young football team. And so now this is really where Coach Crace has got to work some of his magic from the mental standpoint. You know, they've gotten scored on very quickly here early in the game. They're up against an experienced playoff team in Santiam Christian, and now it's really all about a gut check time. I mean, you know, it's one thing to make the playoffs, but you want to make a good impression. You want to win a football game, and right now we can see as he's got his team huddled up across the field in the dark uniforms, the Hawks, this is really all about, fellas. Now what we've got to do is settle down. We've got to get into the groove here a little bit. Okay, it couldn't have started any worse. But now let's just play football. Let's have some fun.
And Crace used a timeout to get that message across to his team. Now, keep in mind, this is a quarterfinal matchup, so the winner here will take on the winner of the 5th seed, Willamina, in the top end of the bracket, and the number 1 seed, Dayton. So we will try and keep you posted on what's going on in that matchup, as well as Pelly will kick it off and covered. As Pelly tried to just nub that one down the field. Dangerous play, but recovered by number 86, Trevor Purcell, the freshman tight end.
Well, and a great play by Purcell, because, you know, you really wouldn't be thinking that Santiam Christian might try an onside kick. So they've got some kids up there from the hands team, and Purcell did a great job to cover it, not try to do anything fancy or pick it up, but just fall on the ball. His team's got good field position to start this series.
Sellen will be in the shotgun by himself. Here comes Grimmett. Grimmett will take the handoff. Get across the 45, and he's met there. First in on the contact for Santiam, Grant Schroeder, and tackled by a whole host of Eagles.
Well, and it doesn't surprise me that they go back to the running game, because they came out early, threw the football, tried to find Isaiah Hall down the field from the tight end spot on the first play, and then the pick. So now let's just settle in here, try to run the football, and really, too, I mean, this is how you get those nerves and those nervous thoughts out of your mind if you're a young football team. Knock guys around a little bit, get you in the flow of the game.
2nd down and 8. Sellen will throw it quickly, dropped by Grimmett, and he had some room to work moving forward just right off of his fingertips, and it'll set up a 3rd down and long for the Hawks.
Well, and he was wide open like you talked about, and that's just a case where the young guy looks downfield. Just for a split second, he takes his eye off the football, looks downfield to find the defender, and unfortunately doesn't look the ball in and catch it, so it's an incomplete pass. And now they've got a 3rd down. This will say a lot about, you know, Horizon Christian right now. Try to convert here on 3rd down.
Grimmett, nearly 1,000 all-purpose yards on the season. Not accustomed to seeing him drop a ball like that. Nonetheless, 3rd down and 8. Sellen will throw it quickly. A little bit of miscommunication between him and his receiver, Parker Beelan. So a quick 3 and out for the Hawks, not what George Crace, the head coach, wanted. And they will be likely forced to punt, although down 14, still very early.
Well, again, either miscommunication or Beelan just wasn't aware that the ball was coming to his side. It almost looked to me like he was more in a downfield block position rather than making the cut on the out route.
So it's 4th down and 8 at the 48-yard line of the Hawks. Selland is in a punt formation, and he will punt this one away. It will go down to Pelly, who will cover it right at about the 11-yard line. First down there on the coverage for the Hawks, Colton Cosner. So we'll make the quick transition here on OSAA.TV. It's a pleasure to have you along this evening out at Horizon Christian High School. Fletcher Johnson, Jim Patterson with you. Just about over 2 minutes into the game, and Santiam Christian has scored on their first 2 offensive possessions, a big kick return and then an interception that took the ball back down inside the 15-yard line of Horizon Christian, and that's where we stand as, once again, the Santiam Christian Eagles will come out on offense. Schroeder will take the snap, hand it off to Pelly. Pelly is taken down as he gets out near the 15-yard line. It'll be a gain of about 3 yards.
So from their own 11, they just line up in a power formation. Actually, 3 backs in the backfield, run a little, not counterplay, more like a sweep without the toss. Get the lead blockers out in front, pull the backside guard. Good gain on the play by Santiam Christian. Now they go 4 guys wide with an empty backfield.
In a diamond formation out there. Quick throw out to Pelly, and flag comes out. This one will likely come back, but Pelly is out and off to the races. Parker Beelan, the only man who can catch him, cuts back inside, and he's going to take it to the house, but we'll have to check the flag as it looked like it might have been a holding, Jim.
Well, the key on the play obviously was they just went with the little quick hitch, and they had blockers out in front and actually blocked it pretty well, but I think they're going to get caught for a hold, Santiam Christian. So that entire play, all for naught, and at least now the Hawks have seen the formation and pretty much have a good idea what Santiam Christian might want to do if they see it again.
Great speed by the junior. Joe Pelly just ran away from everybody and then made a nice cut into the center of the field to get away from Beelan, but it all goes for naught as this one will be brought back and the ball will be pushed back inside the 10-yard line of the Eagles on the penalty.
Well, and those are the kinds of plays that you look back on in a football game and say, well, what if we'd have put those numbers up? You never know when you might need them. And Horizon Christian, this would be huge for them to be able to hold Santiam Christian, force a punt. They'd actually get pretty good field position. So this is a big series. It is second down.
And it will be close to 14 or 15 yards. So it looks like the ball's inside the 7-yard line, close to the 6. Schroeder will take the snap from shotgun. Drops into his end zone, will throw it deep down the center of the field, and a diving grab. What a catch by Colton Cosner. Trenton Janzi was the one who reeled that one in. What a catch.
What a catch, because young Janzi has to lay out with the safety right over top. So he puts his body at risk to catch the football. And as good as the catch was, the throw was on the money from Schroeder. And that tells you a lot. Santiam Christian so confident in their offense and in their quarterback to throw from the end zone, and a big first down.
Schroeder hands it off to Janzi, who just made that catch. He drags a couple defenders out close to the 40-yard line, but taken down there by Brian Satterwhite, the junior linebacker.
And again, when Santiam Christian goes into the run formation, that time they ran a little counter out of that packed backfield. Ball fakes are going to be really critical, and Horizon Christian did a pretty good job to hold them to only 3 yards.
Second down and 7. Throw will go across the middle and reeled in, going down to a knee by Joe Pelly right at midfield. And they will mark him down at the 48-yard line, but that's good enough for a first down. So Santiam Christian, after being pushed deep back in their own territory, are nearly out to midfield with a 14-0 lead, 8:14 left in the first quarter.
And Schroeder just throwing strikes. Boy, he's threading the needle, finding the wide receivers open, that time in between 3 Hawk defenders.
Schroeder will run the quarterback draw. He's able to take it down inside the 40 before he's taken down by Zach Selland and others on that Hawks defense, and he gets it down inside the 42. That'll be a gain of close to 10 yards and good enough for a first down.
Well, and if you're Horizon Christian, the last guy you want to have making tackles is your backup quarterback, Sealand, who's also playing at the corner. You just wonder how much this will take out of him. He's a two-way player, as are many of these Hawks, but he's also playing a position that he hasn't played much throughout the year.
Just 31 players on this Horizon Christian roster. First down and 10 at the 42-yard line of the Hawks for Santiam Christian. Handoff will go to Lang. Finds some room inside the 40 before he's pushed back after he got down to the 35. So Brian Satterwhite and also Weber Michael took him down.
Well, and you might have heard some of the crowd a little upset about the fact that he was thrown out of bounds, but the kids get coached to play to the whistle, and I really didn't hear a whistle till very late there. So,
should note as well, it's about 48 degrees, chilly night here, but no rain in the forecast tonight, so weather really should not be much of a factor, as it's a beautiful November night here in the state of Oregon. 3A quarterfinal action, Horizon Christian and Santiam Christian. Schroeder will run the quarterback draw. Lots of room up the middle. And he's taken down as he gets down inside the 25-yard line by Taylor Grimmett.
And again, head coach Lang from Santiam Christian talked before the game about how important and what a great job the offensive line has done all year long. That time Schroeder on the quarterback draw, just nothing but wide open space in a big game.
Schroeder will roll out to the right, looking downfield. Oh, man, threaded the needle right in the hands of Trenton Janzi, right in the midst of 3 defenders there. Couldn't tell, but maybe Kyle Esquerra was able to get a hand on that one. Nonetheless, falls incomplete.
Well, it was either Esquerra or Beeland, and I think that was just enough to kind of throw the receiver off. It went right through his hands, and again, Schroeder just throws a dime right on the numbers, just not complete that time.
The senior quarterback showing no fear throwing the ball. Handoff goes to Lang. Flag comes out. Lang breaks a tackle, breaks another down inside the 15 and down close to the 11-yard line. Flag came out from the head referee. If the play stands, it's enough for a first down.
Well, there's
and
actually
a late flag came out as well.
Another flag in the defensive secondary, which you kind of wonder when they have those little scrums like that if somebody doesn't get a hold of a face mask. And then we've got the flag back close to the 35 in the backfield. So we could have offsetting penalties here, although the white hat is talking to Schroeder, the quarterback for Santiam Christian. And he's going through the motions. Hey, the guys need to be set before the ball is snapped, so an illegal shift. I'm still not sure about that second flag that we saw.
So we get the signal for the illegal shift, and it looks like there was no penalty there was no penalty flag thrown, or maybe an inadvertent flag down at the end of the play. So just the 5-yard penalty on the Eagles pushes them back 5 yards out to the 29-yard line, and it will be 2nd down and 15, clock running, about 6 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. Schroeder drops to throw. Can't find anybody. Looks late. This one intercepted. The Hawks pick it off and taken down at the 10-yard line. It is Kyle Acera. So Horizon Christian gets just what they need to stop an Eagles drive.
Well, so Schroeder gets a little bit greedy. In the 2 losses that Santiam Christian has had, it's really been because of turnovers, interceptions that have been thrown by Schroeder. And that time he had a lot of time in the pocket, broke the pocket, and then I think he just tried to force one in, and Horizon Christian with good defense back in the back end and gets the interception.
What's that old saying, never throw late across the middle?
That's exactly right.
Selin will keep this one, finds absolutely no running room as a bunch of Eagles are in there. Among them, Micah Ropp, who had the long kickoff return at the beginning of the game to set up the Eagles' first touchdown, and also in there, Cody Manzi.
Well, and you also know because of field position that Horizon Christian is probably going to be ultra conservative. They don't want a turnover this deep in their own territory. So Santiam Christian, of course, knows they can kind of pin their ears back because more than likely the ball's going to be run. So they put 7 or 8 guys in the box. But Horizon Christian will spread it out here.
Grimmett and Selin in the backfield. Motion man is Acera. Throw will come out from Selin. Nice catch made. And out to close to the 20-yard line goes number 3, Colton Cosner. Pickup of about 10 yards, and it is enough for the first down. So Horizon picks up their first down here tonight.
Well, and a very positive development for Horizon Christian. So off the interception, they're able to pick up a first down deep in their own territory. Good sign for Horizon fans.
Under 5 minutes left to go in the first quarter. As Selin has Grimmett to his left. He will look to throw once again. Cosner on the reception. And good there of the Hawks, just taking what the defense gives them.
Absolutely. The defensive corners are playing 7, 8, 9 yards off. And Selin, in order for him to kind of get into the rhythm, I like the idea of just, if you're going to throw the football, it's a high percentage pass, and usually you're going to get high percentages when you run the slants or the outs, especially when the corners are playing 7, 8, 9 yards off.
And false start penalty this time on Dallas Davies. So push them 5 yards back, and it will be 2nd down and about 7 yards to go from their own 29-yard line, or 24-yard line, excuse me, for the Horizon Christian Hawks.
Well, and Dallas Davey, one of the seniors on the team, you'd certainly expect that from one of the underclassmen. And I'm sure Davies will want to atone for that penalty.
Santiam shows blitz. They come late. Acera makes the catch, and he gets out across the 35-yard line. And actually right to it. And that should be good enough for a first down, and it is. So a nice pickup there, Selin to Acera.
Well, and a great pass by Selin. Ascara was just On the out route, had a linebacker on him. Again, pretty much high percentage because you're only throwing the ball about 6 to 7 yards, and then some nice yardage after the catch by Esquera. So Horizon Christian got something good working here.
First down and 10 for the Hawks at their own 36-yard line. Sellen will run the draw. Gets a couple of nice blocks and is able to get out close to the 40-yard line. It'll be a pickup of about 3 before he's driven backwards by Cody Manzi, and also in there, Dedrick Schlosser.
So Horizon Christian already to their backup quarterback, and you've got Sellen running the football. So what if he gets injured? They would go to a freshman. That'd be Sandus Che, a 5'7", 145-pound freshman. So really key that they keep Sellen in the game because they get real young if he gets hurt.
Sellen short hops his receiver, Colton Cosner. So it'll set up 3rd down and 7. And at this level, how difficult is it when you have a player go down? You only have 31 players on the roster to make sure you still stay true to who you are and what you practice to be all season long, but make sure that you're not putting your players in a position, where you get hurt and you have to have a young guy come in.
The key here is really coaching. So they've obviously coached a bunch of guys up. When you've only got 31 guys, there are a lot of guys that are cross-trained and play pretty well, and George Crace is fundamentally one of the best coaches around.
Sellen will look to throw out to his receiver, Cosner. This time makes the catch. So a big 3rd down pickup gives the Hawks another 1st down, and it was basically the same route as last time, and this time Sellen just got him the ball.
So here's the challenge. You keep throwing the out, and they're giving you those yards. At some point, they're going to need to walk those corners up, and that's exactly what the Hawks are hoping, because then they like to go over top, maybe stretch the field vertically and try to hit one of those big plays for a touchdown. So Santiam Christian's really got to make some decisions in the secondary.
The Hawks on their best drive of the night thus far. 1st down and 10 right near midfield. Handoff on the fly sweep to Grimmett as he gets the ball out past the 50 into Eagle territory to the 49. Pickup of 3 yards.
Well, and this drive in and of itself is so important for Horizon Christian because with the rough start, 2 quick scores against them, one off of a turnover, the other one because of a kick return on a pooch kick. Boy, they really kind of got punched in the face early, but they've settled in here. So this is a big drive because now this gives the guys a little bit, okay, we're going to be okay. We're going to be fine. We just need to play football.
George Crace and the coaching staff here on the drive mixing up the play calls, seemingly keeping Santiam Christian off balance. This time we'll drop the throw. Pressure coming from the backside, swings it out to Sarah. Sarah cuts it outside and taken down by Jancy after about a 2-yard gain. What a tackle there by Jancy to just grab the shoelaces of Sarah, and he's coming up a bit gimpy.
Well, I think his shoe, actually, his foot in his shoe is what's caused some problems. He's making the adjustment at this point. But again, I like the high percentage pass. Sellen makes a good decision. Get the ball to a playmaker, try to get him in space. And if not for a great tackle there in the secondary, that's probably a big play. This is a big play, 3rd and 5.
3rd and 5 for the Hawks. Under a minute left to go in the 1st quarter. Sellen and Grimmett in the backfield. They send Cosner in motion. They'll swing it out to Isaiah Hall, and he's met right as he tries to catch by Jordan Wobig, who had the interception earlier tonight to set up the Eagles' 2nd touchdown. So 4th down and 5 for the Hawks.
Well, Wobig quickly read the route. He was in full backpedal mode, but he saw Hall basically just sit there and squat down in that little zone. He came up very quickly, and Horizon Christian really kind of fortunate the ball wasn't intercepted. So now they've got 4th and 5, and at least for now, it looks like they're going to punt the football. But remember, Sellen kicks the ball from the punt formation out of that rugby kick, so let's watch.
Pelly stands at his own 15-yard line. And it looks like last second he thought about running it.
He
this
sure
time,
did.
He will punt it away. The ball bounces at about the 22 and will roll down inside the 20 down to the 18-yard line and be picked up there. So some positive momentum for Horizon Christian on the offensive side and switch field position now. So now Santiam Christian has to go a distance.
Well, and Sellen was thinking about running the ball. I think that if he'd have been to the wide side of the field as opposed to the short side, he might have actually tried that.
the rugby-style punt allows for that option, and you see teams even at the college level use it. So it's first down and 10 for the Eagles on their own 18-yard line. 30 seconds left in the first quarter. Schroeder will drop the throw. He'll look deep down the field. He's got a man down there. Catch is made. Receiver turns, and he's off to the races. It's Christian Fulbright, and he will outrace the corner to the end zone. Flag down on the play, though, back at the 21-yard line.
Well, if it was thrown by the umpire, it's going to be a hold. Pretty much sure of that. This would be, it's an ineligible man downfield. So the worst thing that could possibly happen as a lineman is he sneaks downfield.
So 2 penalties on 2 long touchdowns for Santiam Christian.
Yeah, and you can see David Lang is just shaking his head like, holy cow, that's 2 now. And, you just, against a young football team, you don't want them to think they can hang around. And if it's the result of your own mistakes, that makes it even more difficult to handle. And Coach Lang obviously talking to the officials about, are you sure that's what you saw? But again, boy, big plays that wind up in touchdowns. And now they're going to call a timeout, and I would be willing to bet that David Lang's going to talk to them just about that very issue. Fellas, we cannot keep shooting ourselves in the foot. And really the timeout now is just to kind of probably talk to the white hat. What exactly was that play? Where was that guy?
14-0, Santiam Christian has the lead. We'll be back with more. Take the timeout as well here on OSAA.tv.
At Les Schwab, along with great prices, our tires come with the kind of protection most other places just don't give you. Which includes free flat repairs, equal value replacements, pre-trip safety checks, and more for the entire life of the tire. With the other guys, you just never know. So why is free protection on your tires a good thing?
Lifetime protection. That's our best tire value promise. Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
Back live at Horizon Christian High School. Santiam Christian with the lead 14-0 here in this 3A quarterfinal playoff matchup in the state of Oregon. Pleasure to have you along on OSAA.tv. Fletcher Johnson, Jim Patterson here with you. And it will be a first down and 15 for the Santiam Christian offense after the ineligible man downfield penalty negated the long touchdown pass. Schroeder this time looks out, and he gets leveled on the play. Pressure came inside from Weber Michael. And the pass was intended, it looked like, for number 80, Devin Horn.
Well, and you're playing a very confident team when, they're so courageous to throw the football, even deep in their own territory. And again, that's what Santiam Christian, that's who they are. They like to throw the ball. They like to spread the defense out and chuck the thing around the field. And you can tell they've got some explosive potential, but they've also got to make sure they stop making mistakes and shooting themselves in the foot.
So second down and 15. Pressure will come. Blitz up the middle. Picked up nicely by that Eagle offensive line. Schroeder will chuck it deep down the field and just through beyond the reach of wide receiver Devin Horn once again. So it'll be third down and long for the Eagles.
And Horizon Christian, boy, I'll tell you, you always tell your secondary, you got to be deeper than the deepest man. And here's the problem. Schroeder breaks the pocket, and now their receivers do a great job of, instead of coming back to the ball, they break deep because Schroeder's got the ability to throw it 30 yards in the air.
He does have a cannon, and that's the tough part for the Hawk defense is to try and make sure you don't get caught ball watching once Schroeder breaks that pocket. Third down and 15. Schroeder will run the draw up the middle. And nicely snuffed out there by the Hawks defense. Has a couple different players in there, one of them being Sandis Shea. First time we've called his name tonight, and also Brian Satterwhite.
Well, so Horizon Christian makes it to the end of the first quarter, and it's 14-0. It could have been a lot worse.
Could have been a lot worse.
And they've got to feel real good about where they are at right now.
So end of the first quarter out here at Horizon Christian High School, 14-0. Santiam Christian on top. Back with the second quarter after this here on OSAA.tv.
You see us at the start of the day. On the company phone list that's a few names longer. You see U.S. Bank on busier highways, on once empty fields. Every day, you see all the ways all of us at U.S. Bank are helping grow our economy, lending more so companies and communities can expand, grow stronger, and get back to work. Every day, you see all of us serving you around the country, around the corner. U.S. Bank.
Well, that's all.
West Salem up. Back and ready for the second quarter of action here on OSAA.tv. Fletcher Johnson and Jim Patterson here with you as we were running down the scoreboard, trying to see what else is going on in the playoffs here in the state of Oregon, whether it be 6A, 5A, 4A, or even down here at the 3A level. And we will keep you updated on what's going on. Tigard on top of Canby at 6A, 14-0. Also, looks like Aloha on top of West Salem, 12-7. At the end of the first quarter. So we'll keep giving you scores as they come in.
5A score, Sherwood 14-7 over Springfield at the end of one.
So a 4th down and 11 play here. Flag comes out from the line judge. False start will be the call. So Santiam Christian shooting themselves in the foot here after getting off to a very quick start.
Well, and here's the interesting thing. They're the experienced team. I mean, they're the team that's played 10 playoff games in 3 years, and you wouldn't think that they would be making these kinds of mistakes, this time an illegal procedure penalty. And again, every time that happens, Horizon Christian spirits go way up.
Schroeder will punt this one away, just barely gets it off. Selland is back deep to receive, although this ball will bounce in the air and be caught by the Eagles at the 42-yard line. And Jim, we kind of talked about after the 2 scores for Santiam Christian, how would Horizon respond? And you almost get a sense that Santiam Christian, after the 2 scores in the first minute and 5 seconds, they kind of thought this is going to be a cakewalk the rest of the way.
Well, so that's the challenge for the coaching staff, is to make sure that these kids understand if you're an Eagle player, you can't take your foot off the gas. I mean, Horizon Christian's a good team. I mean, they've made it to the playoffs for a reason. They've had a good season. They're 7-2. They've won their first-round playoff game. So, you got to keep your foot down. You can't let up in this game of football.
Selland will look to throw on first down. Catch made by Beelan inside the 40 down at the 39-yard line. It'll be a gain of about 3.
Here's the other thing, Fletcher, about the quick passes. It really takes a lot of pressure off of your offensive line because the ball's going to be coming out quick out of the quarterback's hand. They're going to have to worry less about protecting a quarterback in the pocket. So George Crace has gone to what I think is a really good thing for his young team, and that is throw the high percentage pass, get what you can get, and try to force Santiam Christian into a mistake on defense.
As you see down here on the near side, about 10 yards cushion for the receivers. Selland will look that way. Pressure comes, escapes, and now will take off. Gets back close to the line of scrimmage before he's met by Cody Manzi. Called his name a bunch tonight as he's really been a force on the defensive side of the ball. No gain on the play, 3rd down and 7.
Well, the good sign for Horizon is that Selland didn't try to force something. And again, he's just come in at quarterback because Wyatt Houston is injured. He's got the shoulder injury. And when you don't play the position and you're trying to help your team, sometimes you try to do a little bit too much. So I'm impressed that Selland was able to just pull the ball down. Hey, let's live to play another day. So good play by the young quarterback.
10:39 and the clock running here in the second quarter. Horizon Christian, the deepest they've gotten into Eagle territory here tonight, in a 3rd down and 7. As Sierra goes in motion into the backfield. Selland will look to throw. Now will take off, or will he? He will. Too late of a decision, though, as that Eagle defense was able to close in. He's taken down after a short gain by about 5 or 6 different Eagles.
Well, and it looked like he had a lot of room to run, and I think the issue really is that he hesitated. And you can't, he who hesitates is going to be lost. I think once he makes the decision to run, you just got to go. Got to turn upfield, get your nose towards the goal line, and run like crazy. Looked like he was just trying to pick and choose a little bit too much.
I had my mind made up he was running, so.
Well, there was a big wide, from our vantage point, way up here on the tower, looked pretty wide open to me.
So 4th down and 6, and the Hawks will go for it at the 38-yard line of the Eagles. Flag comes out.
I think the left guard jumped.
And the call a false start on Horizon, so push them back 5 yards, and it goes from 4th and mid-range distance to 4th and long. So we'll see how the Hawks line up. And it looks like they will still go for it.
They could quick kick out of this formation if they wanted as well. Let's see how much faith Coach Crace has in his defense.
Selin will drop to throw. Will quickly throw it out into double coverage. Interception nearly made by Wobig. That would have been his second on the night. Ball intended for Colton Cosner. So a turnover on downs by the Hawks, and Santiam Christian takes over at their own 43-yard line.
Well, and that's a case where if he throws the ball with a little more arc, so he tries to drop the ball in as opposed to throwing it on the line, wide receiver was open. He'd actually gotten behind the two defenders, but he tried to throw the ball on a line, and Santiam Christian had it covered and knocked it down. But I like the play. I like the situation where George Crace says we're going to go for it on fourth down. We need to try to get something going.
9:24 as Santiam Christian takes over left in the first half. Wobig with the catch. Moves the ball out across midfield. And correction, that is Devin Horn who makes the reception. Ball across midfield down to the 49. It will be 2nd down and 2.
Horizon Christian starting to ratchet it up on defense. They're bringing some blitzes. That time the right side linebacker blitzed, was able to kind of anticipate the snap count.
Schroeder's given time, and nice play by Esquera coming over the top. He dropped off of his man Horn to come over, knock the ball away from the intended receiver, Jacob Callis. And what a big play that was, as Callis was behind the defense once again.
Well, they had 3 guys running vertical routes, and the problem was Schroeder stared down the guy he was going to throw the ball to. The 2 outside guys were pretty much wide open. So the defender did a good job of look where the quarterback's eyes are at and then react to the ball.
3rd down and 2 for the Eagles. Pelly in motion. He will take the handoff, going left. He will fall forward across the first down sticks, but a flag is out at midfield.
Well, and again, I think this is going to be against Santiam Christian. And boy, this would be a big play. I think a hold, that's exactly what it is. So, here again, they get the edge. They've only got a yard to pick up for a first down. And now they get the 10-yard holding penalty, which is going to put the ball back to where they're going to have like a 3rd down and 11 or 12 yards to go.
So it will be pushed back to the 40-yard line. So we'll be 3rd down and 14 is holding a spot of the foul. 10 yards from the spot of the foul penalty. So 8.5 minutes left before halftime. 3rd and 14 for the Eagles. Hawks will rush 5. Ball comes out quickly from Schroeder to Pelly, who makes the catch, but can only get out to the 46-yard line, a pickup of about 6 yards. So it'll be 4th down, and the Hawks hold.
Well, and Fletcher, you said it was a nice night, and it is. It's not raining, but it is starting to get a little bit cool, and there is some moisture on this field turf, and a lot of times it gets a little slippery, and as you could tell, the wide receiver was trying to make a cut. Feet came out from underneath him. So that's a little bit of the field condition more than anything else.
And it looks like the Eagles will go for it. Schroeder will drop back to pass, buys himself some time. Pressure comes. Ball knocked up in the air by Satterwhite, and it falls incomplete, intended for Pelly. And the Horizon Christian Hawks steal a little bit of momentum there.
Well, and again, I'm starting to see a theme, and the theme is that Schroeder is doing a lot better job as a pocket passer. Once he breaks the pocket and now he starts to look downfield, I think he has a tendency to want to force it just a little bit too much. And again, he threw that ball into triple coverage. Lucky it wasn't intercepted. But Horizon Christian, again, down only 2 scores, and they're in the game.
3rd time they've had the ball in Santiam Christian territory as Selland stands at his own 48-yard line, set to take the snap. Esquera in motion. Fake the handoff to him, eventually hand it off to Grimmett. Santiam Christian sniffs that one out as Grimmett gets back to the line of scrimmage. Jordan Lang, coach's son, and also Cody Manzi in on the stop.
Yeah, and those 2 guys, Lang and Manzi, really have been the stalwarts on defense for Santiam Christian. Clearly they had seen that play, scouted out. They reacted really well, and no gain there.
So 2nd down and 10. For the Hawks. Esquera in motion again. Take the handoff, run the option with Grimmett. Grimmett goes north and south and takes the ball down close to the 40-yard line. So a nice 6-yard gain there on second down. Will set up third and manageable as Nicholas Schlosser was in on the tackle.
And I liked how Grimmett decided, okay, there's the crease, and I'm going to run to daylight. Did a good job. Santiam Christian defensively, though, pretty quick, and it seems like a lot of things that look wide open get shut down pretty quick. So they're doing a really good job of pursuing the football.
And swarming to the football as a team as well. It seems like there's 3 or 4 guys every time a Hawks player goes down with the ball. So 3rd down and 4. Sellen looks for the quick throw, will launch it downfield for his intended receiver, Hall, I believe that is. And overthrew him. Janzi was actually the closest player out there, and actually the intended receiver, number 88, Kyle Acera. So the ball falls incomplete. 4th down and 4 now for the Hawks.
Well, the problem with those stop-and-go routes is that if the defensive back does his job, he's going to get up there and jam that guy on the stop route, and then it throws off the entire timing of the play. And that's exactly what happened.
So Horizon Christian will call a timeout. George Crace wants to think this one over. 4th and 4. Santiam Christian on top, 14-0, 6:51 left in the first half.
My family and I were enjoying a big vacation in Tahoe. After a great day on the mountain, our car wouldn't start. I got a jump, but it kept dying. Everyone in town said,
"Go to Les Schwab."
When I pulled up, George delivered. He quickly tested the battery and confirmed it was a goner. While he installed a new one, I finally got my first relaxation of the vacation. It's nice to be treated like a neighbor so far from home. I'm Clay Gilman, and that's my Les Schwab story.
Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
Back with you at Horizon Christian High School. Santiam Christian on top here in this quarterfinal matchup. 14-0, 6:51 left before the half. Some other interesting scores from around the state at the 6A level. Tulalatin and Sprague are scoreless after the first quarter. Mountain View trailing Marist 7-0 at the end of the first quarter. That one down at 5A. And after one quarter at the 3A level, Rainier on top of Scio 15-8. So 4th down and 4 for the Hawks. Flag comes out. And a false start. So for the second time on 4th and manageable for the Hawks, they get a false start that pushes them into 4th and long.
Well, the killer is, too, that they had just called the timeout. So they've got the play they want to run, and then they come out of the timeout, and they get a penalty of 5 yards. And, again, that's going to happen with a young team. I mean, this is different. This is rarefied air. This is different territory for them. But again, they've just got to feel really good about the fact that they're only down 14 and really have played pretty good here throughout the course of the second quarter.
So now Sellen will punt this one away. And now he might decide to change his mind. He eventually gets the punt off, and it's arguably his best punt of the night. This one will trickle down inside the 5. Can they get there? No, just crosses over the goal line. So what was originally looked like it was going to be a fake, Sellen punts it away anyways as he escapes the pressure and nearly traps Santiam Christian down inside their 5-yard line.
Well, I would challenge any athlete to do what Sellen did, which was run right and then turn around as a right-footed kicker, run left, and while you're running, kick the ball.
Running left, kick the ball.
And he kicked a perfect spiral and had his guys not stopped running because they figured he was maybe in trouble. They'd have downed the ball inside the 5.
So Santiam Christian takes over. 1st down and 10 on their own 20-yard line after the touchback on the punt. Schroeder with Lang behind him. Nicely read there by the Hawks. In on the tackle, number 62. First time we've called his name tonight. And he is unfortunately not in our program.
A player to be named. And, you know, Fletcher, that's the second time that he has anticipated the snap count and been right on the money. That time, a loss in the backfield.
They will run it again. And Horizon Christian really tackling up the field, doing great things. Jacob Callis on the carry, in on the tackle, Weber Michael. And we do have a 62 in our programs, Gabe Nielsen,
All right.
Give the young man some credit for the play on first down, and after the second down stop, it'll be 3rd down and 12 for the Eagles at their own 17.
And a great job on defense by Weber Michael with that ankle tackle. So the Hawks really stiffening up on D here.
Schroeder will drop the throw. Has time. Now we'll look across the middle. Catch made.
Going to be short.
Curian. And he will be short. He needed to get to the 30-yard line, and he's down just past the 28.
I always get a kick out of these guys. They catch a ball like that, and the instinct is to get up and run. But
don't play in the NFL.
In high school football, you're down.
I must admit, one of my favorite moments ever in the NFL was when Plaxico Burress, his first year out at Pittsburgh, caught the ball, fell down, got up, spiked it, but he hadn't been touched yet, so it was a fumble. Schroeder punts this one away. And it will be first touch by Santiam Christian out near the 42-yard line.
And so the ball will be spotted where it was first touched. That's why the official threw the beanbag.
First down and 10 for the Hawks.
Dryden Reichmuth was the one who it hit as he ran down the field.
Starting on their own 36.
Actually, it was probably a better thing because that meant the ball was bouncing back the other direction.
Exactly right.
So it'll be first down and 10 for the Hawks. They've shown the ability to move the ball when they're in their own territory, but once they've gotten into Santiam Christian territory, the drives have stalled.
Yeah, but all it takes is one big play, and you're right back in the game with a lot of momentum.
Sellen's in the backfield by himself. They'll run the little screen.
Good play.
Grimmett finds some running room, and he gets the ball out past midfield. And he's marked out at the 46-yard line, so a pickup of 18 yards on the screen pass, and they got Santiam Christian too far up the field.
Well, that's one of those classic cases where as a defensive lineman, especially when your front four guys are not blocked, you have to start thinking to yourself, why am I not being blocked? And that time, Horizon Christian had the right play call on. Good job on the screen pass.
And you have to say that Horizon Christian's play calling has been good tonight. They found some things, but they just haven't been able to string them together consistently on a singular drive. 4:46 left before half. Sellen throws the ball once again to Isaiah Hall, who gets hit right as he catches it. Lang was the one that took him down. Hall immediately goes over to check on one of the men he ran into. That was Cody Manzi, who was up and okay, so that's good to see.
Well, that's one of those things, too, during this football game. You're going to see a lot of good sportsmanship between these two teams. And don't forget, Fletcher, you talked about the play calls. George Crace is a state championship football coach. People will remember Wilsonville. He coached those Wildcats to a state championship.
So 2nd down and 6 now after the short gain. Sellen will throw it, and it is caught, this time by Colton Cosner.
Well, I'll tell you what, I really like that because Cosner knew exactly where he had to get for a first down. He didn't do anything fancy. Goes down to a knee, actually, just to make sure that he makes the catch. That's a good play by Cosner. And Fletcher, Horizon Christian's got something going here.
And we're 3:52 left, and after Santiam Christian scored 2 touchdowns in the first minute and 5 seconds of the game, here Horizon Christian is right before the half with a chance to take some serious momentum and possibly put a touchdown on the board and make it a one-possession game. So first down and 10 at the 35-yard line. Sellen will take it, gets past one man, slips past another. Nice run by Sellen, but he put the ball on the turf.
So now it's going to be a question of the guys in the striped shirts trying to figure out where the heck the ball is in that pile, and you can see the officials doing great work there. And unfortunately for Horizon Christian, they had something going, but the turnover really gets him here as Sellen, who did a nice job on the little quarterback draw, but he got into the secondary and somebody put a hat right on the ball, and the Eagles get the turnover. So they really kind of avert disaster because I really felt like Horizon Christian was probably going to take it and put one in.
Tough break for the Hawks, but that's also what you say about great teams is they make their own luck as well, and that's what Santiam Christian did there. They take over 1st and 10 on their own 25-yard line. Schroeder puts Jansit in motion. He'll run it up the middle. Schroeder finds a lot of room. Flag comes out, though. 2 flags out on the play, one on the far side, one right in the middle of the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. Again, the umpire is going to probably call a hold. He's looking at the center and that offensive line. And then the head linesman over across the field, probably looking at some sort of illegal shift. I think in either case, it's not good news for Santiam Christian. Well, there's one, 10 yards and a hold.
Still first down.
And I can guarantee you that David Lang at halftime, this is going to be the focus of his discussion with his team, and that is, fellas, you know, we can't continue to make mistakes. Mistakes are killing us. You know, we should be 4 touchdowns up, and realistically, they probably should.
2 penalties called back, 80-plus yard touchdown plays for the Eagles as Pelly takes the handoff, cuts it back nicely up the middle, breaks 1 tackle, out past the 30 to the 35-yard line, and close to a first down goes Pelly on that little fly sweep action and a nice cut back up into the center of the field.
Yeah, George Crace, as I talked to him before the game, I could tell one of the concerns that he had was his defense's ability to tackle. And again, it's just a lot of young football players and getting used to the game at this speed.
Handoff will go to Jancy this time on that fly sweep motion, and he is taken down after he gets out across the 40 to the 42, which is plenty good enough for a first down after 8 yards.
So Horizon Christian, I mean, this is what they're looking for here. Okay, they've turned the ball over. They would have liked to have scored, but now the goal here is don't let Santiam Christian score another touchdown or a field goal. I mean, you're in a good position if you're only down 2 touchdowns at halftime.
2:25 clock running here before half. Schroeder will take it on the draw.
Schroeder on the keeper.
He's into the open field, and he's off to the races. Turns on the afterburners. They won't catch him. Schroeder takes it 42 yards to the house for a touchdown.
Well, and even though Horizon Christian, it's pretty obvious that they've picked up on the cadence, the snap count, because they've got guys running to the line of scrimmage in blitz formation, and they're hitting that right on the right, right on the right cadence. But that time Schroeder was able to find that crease and just took off. And again, poor tackling at the line of scrimmage, and exactly what I talked about. You don't want to let them score another touchdown before the end of the half.
That was a big-time momentum swing as Santiam Christian created the turnover deep in their own territory and then take it to the house the other direction. And what could have been a 1-possession game is now a 3-possession game as Pelly comes out for the extra point, Schroeder to hold. His kick is up and through. So with 2 minutes, 12 seconds left before halftime, Santiam Christian out on top 21-0 here on OSAA.tv.
At Les Schwab, along with great prices, our tires come with the kind of protection most other places just don't give you, which includes free flat repairs, equal value replacements, pre-trip safety checks, and more for the entire life of the tire. With the other guys, well, you just never know. So why is free protection on your tires good to have?
Lifetime protection. That's our best tire value promise. Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
Fletcher Johnson and Jim Patterson out here with you on OSAA.tv. As Santiam Christian turns over the Horizon Christian Hawks and takes it back the other direction for a touchdown here before the break. 2 minutes and 12 seconds left in the first half as the Eagles are out on top 21-0. Also, as we keep you updated on other scores here in the playoffs, Silverton on top of West Albany 14-0 at halftime. Rainier leading Scio 15-14 at the break. Southridge 27, Century 8. About 6 minutes left before halftime. Pelly's kick will be chopped down close to the 35. That's where Acera gets on it at about the 36. So Horizon Christian comes out over the massive turnover that really changed the course of things in this game, as now Sellen will come out. 2 minutes and 11 seconds left. If you're Horizon Christian, you got 1 timeout. How aggressive are you here before the break, given that you've seen some good things, but you've also turned the ball over a couple times as well?
Well, at this point, you can't play with any fear. So I say you've got to, be aggressive offensively. I mean, again, what you know is you've got some young kids playing in a big-time playoff football game, and they just need to loosen up and play ball. So, I say go for it. They've got to get something started here. A score would be huge.
Flag comes out. Not the way the Hawks will have wanted to start this drive. as it is a false start penalty.
Still first down.
So they'll move the ball back to the 31. It'll be first down and 15. No shortage of penalties in this game, Jim.
Well, the other thing that we need to point out, again, 31 guys play for Horizon Christian. That means a lot of the kids are going both ways. So now you've just got stung defensively and you've got to line up on offense, and you've got to keep that mental focus. You've got to put that out of your mind and focus on the play at hand.
Pressure comes up the middle from Minzy. Quick throw out to Grimmett. Grimmett bounces outside. Flag comes out. Grimmett has broken away, cuts back inside, and taken down inside the 35-yard line by TJ Hufunga, one of the captains of this team, but flags out back at the 35.
Well, a great play, and it was set up well, and then there was a block that just didn't need to be made, and it was a block in the back, and I'm fairly certain that that's exactly what the officials are going to tell us. It's just one of those things where it's a block that really doesn't impact the play, and if you could do it over again, you wouldn't make that block.
So they'll call a holding. I think I saw what you saw, though, Jim, is there was one of those Eagles that got pushed in the back. Nonetheless, it's a 10-yard penalty, and the ball back inside the 25 to the 24-yard line. And now it will be first down and 21. Clock running under 1:45 left in the first half. Selland tries to throw the screen. Is the ball intercepted?
I think so.
It looks like they will call it an interception, and Cody Minzy, who we've called his name all night, makes a play right in the center of that defense. And Santiam Christian looks to add to their 21-point lead here with 1:39 left before the break.
Well, I'll guarantee you, Selland never even saw him. I mean, it was one of those deals where Manzi is on a little slide play. Quarterback never saw him. And interestingly enough, the big old lineman on offense has got some hands and actually catches the football. So a guy with good hands, the center who touches it on every play, makes the interception.
So 2 interceptions Selland has thrown here in the first half for the Hawks, and now George Crace will take the timeout to talk things over and try and charge up his defense here in the last 1:39 as they try and keep the Eagles out of the end zone. Trailing 21-0 already at this point, as Sherwood now up 27-14 on Springfield in the second quarter. Sprague and Tulalatin still scoreless at the break. West Salem on top of Aloha 20-19, 4:50 left in the first half.
Appreciate also the support of our sponsors that are listed on the back of your program.
And now Thomas Tyner quickly answers back just 2 tweets later. A 50-yard touchdown, his 4th TD of the game, and he is now the single-season rushing record holder in the state of Oregon, at least at the 6A level. We'll have to check on that. But first down and 10 for Santiam Christian. Handoff will go
45 on the carry.
Up the middle to Callis. A couple of Hawks in there on defense. 2 timeouts the Eagles have to use here, and 1:25 left in the clock running.
Guarantee you they want to put another one in the end zone. I mean, actually, they probably feel like they should have had 2 more anyway.
Already, right?
They're going to put them. They're going to put points up on the board if they can.
Schroeder will drop the throw. He looks out for his man, who makes the catch and runs into the end zone. There is Jacob Callis. A 24-yard touchdown pass from Grant Schroeder, and it's 27-0 Santiam Christian.
Well, they run the wheel route where Callis comes out of the backfield and just runs the sideline route. And what happens is the corner sits for just a minute. Back is out of the backfield. I wonder if the linebacker, nope, you've got him. Callis gets behind him, and Santiam Christian puts their 4th touchdown up on the board.
Pili out to attempt the extra point. He's made all 3 thus far this evening. I nearly jinxed him, but that one is up and through as well.
Yeah.
And really, one of the interesting things to me when you look at this game is we played about 23 minutes now here in the first half, and you could argue that 20 minutes, Horizon Christian's played great. It's been about 3 minutes where they've given up the 4 touchdowns.
Well, really, it is. It's about 3.5 minutes of football that have really cost them. And this started when they fumbled the football. So the turnover by Horizon Christian, where they're only down 14, looks like they've got momentum. They're going to go in and score. Everybody's feeling very good, and then the ball goes down on the ground. Next thing you know, boom, Santiam Christian's put up 2 scores before the end of the half, and now you're looking at a 28-0 hole, which is something that obviously Coach Crace is going to need to talk to his guys about, staying in the game, staying focused, never quit. And these two teams, they'll never quit. Their coaches are just not going to allow that. But boy, Horizon Christian has really dug themselves into a hole now.
Pelly will kick off from his 40. Beelan and Sellen back deep to receive. He'll just chop this one down once again. It'll be covered by Scara at the 36-yard line. So minute 6 seconds left. Horizon Christian comes back out onto the field. No timeouts. Zach Sellen threw an interception on the last possession that set up the Santiam Christian touchdown pass from Schroeder to Callis.
And Santiam Christian is quite, they're quite happy to go ahead and just kick the ball to the sideline, let those guys recover it, start field position at the 35 because they believe in their defense.
Two defenders for Santiam Christian standing back at their own 45-yard line. Sellen will roll the throw. Quickly throw it out for Hall, and it bounces off his hands right near midfield. So incomplete pass, 2nd down and 10 now, exactly a minute left in the first half.
Well, and those are the passes you got to catch. Sellen throws the ball on the numbers, and you've got to catch the football.
As our umpire drops the ball, as he goes to put it down. I tell you, I'll take the cold every night. It's better than the rain and the wind.
Especially tonight.
Especially tonight. 2nd down and 10 for Zach Sellen, who's got Taylor Grimmett to his right. Cousin and Esquera will go out to the right. Zellen will roll that way. Now he comes back the other direction. He's got some room to run. He's going to pick up a block, and he's eventually chased out of bounds near the 46-yard line. That'll be good enough for a Hawks first down.
And see the difference? He made the decision he was going to take off and run early, and he got 11 yards. So a good play by Sellen. And a good job by the offensive line because they really had it blocked off to the backside pretty well. Plus the clock stops because he gets out of bounds. And they don't have any more timeouts, so that was important.
Ball's just outside the 46-yard line of the Hawks. Horizon Christian looking for some sort of momentum here before the break. They had it about 4 minutes ago before they turned the ball over deep in Eagles territory. Sellen decides to run. He'll break it outside and be chased down from behind. In on the tackle, Micah Ropp, as he moves the ball across midfield down to the 47-yard line of the Eagles.
And it shouldn't be surprising that he's a pretty good runner because as a wide receiver, I think he had over 1,000 yards in pass receiving yardage. So he catches the ball and then runs after the catch. So it doesn't surprise me that he's been a pretty good running quarterback tonight.
Yep, just over 1,000 yards receiving and 9 touchdowns. This time will be caught behind the line of scrimmage, though, as Micah Ropp, who chased him down from behind last time, is able to get him in the backfield for a sack back to the 47-yard line.
Well, and if you're the defensive coordinator for Santiam Christian, what you know is, hey, look, they've got to throw the ball, so they just bring the heat on every play.
So they will spike the ball. Flag comes out, though, trying to give themselves one more play before halftime. Clock is stopped with 0.8 seconds as the officials discuss what the penalty will be. We have an illegal shift, an illegal motion penalty
Penalties on the Hawks.
on Horizon Christian. (28-0). It's funny because you can look and say that the lead should be much larger, and if you're George Crace and Horizon Christian, you might feel that this should be a closer game if you can hang on to the football, as a couple times the Hawks have gotten down deep into Eagle territory and turned the ball over.
Well, it will be interesting, and it would be interesting to know what will the coaches talk to their teams about, because you're exactly right. I mean, David Lang's got to feel like, we should be up a couple more scores. George Crace has got to be saying, hey, look, for about 20 minutes of the 24, we were right there.
It's interesting, just signs of a young team here from the Hawks, learning what it's like to play in the playoffs. Last play of the first half. Sullen will drop the throw, eludes the rush, throws it down. This one's intercepted, coming back the other direction, and going down near midfield is Trenton Janzi, so he's satisfied with the interception. 3 interceptions for Zach Sullen in the first half, not the way he would want things to go. And his Hawks trail Santiam Christian 28-0. We'll be back after halftime here on OSAA.tv.
You see us at the start of the day. On the company phone list that's a few names longer. You see U.S. Bank on busier highways, on once empty fields. Every day, you see all the ways all of us at U.S. Bank are helping grow our economy, lending more so companies and communities can expand, grow stronger, and get back to work. Every day, you see all of us serving you around the country, around the corner. U.S. Bank.
Put me up. Put me up. Thank you very much. I've been to Willamina. I ran into about 14 people, and about 3 of them had teeth. All right.
My family and I were enjoying a big vacation in Tahoe. After a great day on the mountain, our car wouldn't start. I got a jump, but it kept dying. Everyone in town said,
Go to Les Schwab.
When I pulled up, George delivered. He quickly tested the battery and confirmed it was a goner. While he installed a new one, I finally got my first relaxation of the vacation. It's nice to be treated like a neighbor so far from home. I'm Clay Gilman, and that's my Les Schwab story.
Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
Back live at Horizon Christian High School. Fletcher Johnson and Jim Patterson with you on OSAA.tv. About set for the second half of action in this 3A quarterfinal matchup between Santiam Christian, the visiting Eagles, and the Horizon Christian Hawks. It was all Santiam in the first half. Really, it was a funny first half in the sense that Santiam Christian scored all of their points in a matter of about 5 minutes. In the first minute and 5 seconds of the first quarter, they put 2 touchdowns on the board, and then they really dominated the last 3 minutes of the second quarter. So Horizon Christian hasn't necessarily played a bad game, but that's not what they see on the scoreboard, Jim.
Well, and it could be worse if not for mistakes and penalties by Santiam Christian. And as David Lang, the head coach of the Eagles, came out, I shouted down to him, hey, did you talk about, by any chance, self-inflicted wounds? And he said, do you mean all of the laundry on the field? And so the issue is they did talk about that, but, you know, this says a lot about him as a coach. He finished by saying, but we all make a lot of mistakes. And I think he recognizes that, you know, he's coaching young people. We're not perfect. We make mistakes. I think we'll see them come out in this second half. They'll limit the amount of mistakes. And if that's the case, it's probably not good news for Horizon Christian.
No, that's the thing is you have a 28-point lead, and you've had so many penalties called. You've had 2 touchdowns of 80-plus yards called back, and yet you lead by 4 touchdowns. So as we get started for the second half of action here between Santiam Christian and Horizon Christian, want to let you know we'll be with you all postseason long here on OSAA.tv, coverage of all the state championships all the way up to the finals. And at really every level as well, 3A, 4A, 5A, and 6A. And it's a pleasure to have you along here on a chilly Oregon evening. No rain right now in the forecast. Fog beginning to roll in as the temperature right around 45 degrees here as we're set to kick off the second half. Horizon Christian deferred after winning the toss and will receive to start the action.
Well, and what was interesting at halftime, Fletcher, Santiam Christian actually went into the locker room. Horizon Christian stayed out here on the field. They were huddled up in the south end zone near the goalpost, and they stayed out the whole halftime. And the coaches talked to them out here on the field. So I guess what happens is if you don't produce on the field on a cold, chilly November night in a big playoff game, you don't go inside. You stay outside.
Pelly will kick it off for the Eagles. He'll just chip this one down. Isaiah Hall catches it at the 46-yard line. Basically almost a pseudo onside kick attempt, maybe not always trying to recover it, but it will be good starting field position for Horizon Christian at their 46. They showed some promise on some drives, moving the ball across midfield and into Eagle territory, but on their best opportunity, they turned the ball over inside the 25-yard line, and that really led to the domination in the last 4 minutes from Santiam Christian. Zach Sellen, 3 interceptions in the first half, so he'll look to improve on that performance here as we start the second half. And first down and 10 for the Hawks. Handoff up the middle to Grimmett. And nice work by the defensive line of Santiam Christian as Nicholas Schlosser and also number 25, Jordan Lang, in on the stop.
Well, and that's exactly what I would have expected to see out of Santiam Christian coming out of the half. Obviously, they're going to be fired up. They don't want to give any hope to Horizon Christian at this point. So play tough defense, stuff the ball in the backfield, a big 5-yard loss on their first down.
Second down and 15. Esquera with the handoff going right. He's stretched out and is stopped after a gain of close to 3 yards as he gets the ball out near the 44 mark at the 43, and it'll be third down and long for the Hawks.
You mentioned number 54, Nicholas Schlosser. There's another Schlosser in the lineup for Santiam Christian, and we'll talk about him a little bit. Diedrich Schlosser, number 8. Quite an interesting experience he had in a game against Blanchette, and we'll talk about that.
So third down and 12 as we are just underway in the second half. 3 receivers go wide left for Sellard. They'll look for that screen. Flag comes out on the far side, way away from the play. Grimmett is taken down right at the line of scrimmage. And Grimmett is slow to get up. It's like he's favoring that left leg. Penalty is on the Hawks.
So the story about Diedrich Schlosser in a game against Blanchette, which was the 3rd game of the season, a win for Santiam Christian, 38-21. Diedrich, number 8, actually broke his C1 vertebrae in his neck.
Ouch.
Making a tackle, and we got to talk to him a little bit at halftime. And it was one of those situations where he blacked out on the field. It was very, very serious. And you can tell in the team picture, he's actually pictured with the halo. So a very serious thing, but he seems to be getting around. He's still in a neck brace, but he's here supporting his teammates.
Glad to hear that he's doing better as Sellard's kick will be taken at the 20. And Santiam Christian bringing it up, coming the other direction, and eventually brought down across the 35-yard line is Joe Pelly. So here comes the Eagle offense, led by Grant Schroeder, who had a couple touchdown passes in that first half. Really did some nice things, creating some things, and he's a very confident quarterback back there and will thread the ball into any situation, Jim.
Well, and this is really about, kind of taking the spirit out of the Hawks. Santiam Christian wants to score here. They want to put the pedal down so that the Hawks don't feel like they have any chance of getting back in the game. So they're not going to change the offense as they come out throwing the football here to start the second half.
Quickly thrown out to Pelly, and he gets the ball up close to the 40, pickup of 2 yards. It'll set up second down and 8.
David Lang, the head coach, gives the plays into the quarterback Schroeder via hand signal. So you'll see all the players in the white uniforms looking over to the east sideline.
Lang will take the handoff, drag a couple of Horizon Christian defenders out near midfield. First in on the tackle, but eventually falling off was Gabe Nielsen. And then wrapping him up was Brian Satterwhite, but not after a first down.
So Schroeder doesn't get the play from the sideline, doesn't know the sign. He taps his head, and he got the signs again from his coach, and here we go.
Schroeder drops the throw. Pressure comes. Eludes the rush. Throws it deep down the field. He's got a man down there. Makes the catch. What a grab and a touchdown for the Eagles. Christian Fulbright goes up over the top of Esquera. And Santiam Christian has extended their lead here at the beginning of the third.
Well, it's just a case of jump ball, and Esquera loses the jump ball. And Horizon Christian gives up another touchdown. And a great job by Schroeder, who flushed out of the pocket again. But the thing was, he kept his cool, and he was able to find his receiver downfield. He threw the ball right on the money, and his receiver went up. You always coach guys, catch it at the highest point, and that's exactly what he did.
What a weapon Grant Schroeder is. He can really chuck that ball down the field, and Pelly's extra point this time no good. So 34-0. Santiam Christian on top, 9:09 left in the third quarter.
You see us at the start of the day. On the company phone list that's a few names longer. You see U.S. Bank on busier highways, on once empty fields. Every day, you see all the ways all of us at U.S. Bank are helping grow our economy, lending more so companies and communities can expand, grow stronger, and get back to work. Every day, you see all of us serving you around the country, around the corner. U.S. Bank.
Fletcher Johnson, Jim Patterson back with you on OSAA.TV. 9 minutes, 9 seconds left here in the third quarter. Santiam Christian squarely in control of this one, 34-0, as they will kick it off to Horizon Christian. Joe Pelly will do the honors.
Well, and unless something changes significantly, I'm looking for the ball to be kicked over here to about the 40-yard line, and Hall or Esquerra are going to try to kick. And looky here. Let's kick it deep.
Sellen will take it at his 10. Out across the 25 and taken down as he goes across the 30-yard line. And almost tough there in the sense when you see kickoff returns get taken back a long ways, guys are going full speed, and maybe it's just me, but it looked like Zach Sellen was trying to pick and choose his spot instead of just running it up in there and hoping that the hole opened up.
Yeah, there was some hesitancy there, and it's been consistent. A lot of the ball carriers for Horizon Christian have run tentatively, and really that's the worst. You're going to get hurt actually probably more. The percentages are higher if you're running as tentatively as some of the kids are, and that's really kind of tough to coach kids that you want to go full speed.
Illegal substitution penalty on Santiam Christian. Too many men on the field. So Horizon Christian will start 1st and 5 on their own 36-yard line.
Well, they gained 5 yards without the clock starting.
Hey, you'll take it any way you can get it, right?
And now the officials have called an official timeout.
So with that, we'll take a look at a couple scores. Crescent Valley trailing Redmond 7-0. Also, Tigard on top of Canby 35-7. Sprague now on top of Tualatin 3-0 in the third quarter. Sellen drops the throw. We'll look down the field for his man, and Wobig, who had an interception in the first half, just able to get his left mid on this one and knock it away from Colton Cosner.
Well, a great job by Wobig because he's actually beat. And again, if Sellen gets the ball up in the air a little more arc as opposed to trying to throw it on the line, he probably completes the pass.
Flag for roughing the passer, though, will create an automatic first down for Horizon Christian.
So there's 20 yards in gains via the laundry, which David Lang said, we got to stop that. Now they've gotten penalized 2 times in this drive already. So coach probably not happy.
And with the field turf here, you don't maybe get the same experience you would have about 15 or 20 years ago when the laundry would get thrown that much. You wouldn't be able to tell it's yellow by the end of the night as Sellen will take it on the draw, finds no room whatsoever. Bunch of defenders in there, but led by Nicholas Schlosser and also Micah Rapp.
Those 2 guys have been very active in the football game, called their name a couple times, Fletcher, and they're 2 of the key players for Santiam Christian on defense.
8:30 left in the third quarter. Santiam Christian on top 34-0. Screen pass set up. Nicely set up, but nicely read on the defensive side of things by Dryden Reichmuth, who was able to really be the only man out there and make the play.
Well, and the key to a screen is not just to get the defenders to come through, but the linemen downfield have got to not only make the block, but they've got to stay on the block. And that time, Reichmuth was able to get away from his blocker and make the play. There was a lot more there had the guys stayed on their blocks.
So it sets up 3rd down and 6 at the Eagle 45-yard line for Horizon Christian. And the lineman jumps offside, so add some more laundry to that tally for Santiam Christian, as that was Garrett Lesko who jumped into the neutral zone and will make it 3rd down and 1.
That's 25 yards in penalties on this drive against Santiam Christian.
So Sellen this time will just take the quarterback sneak up the middle, easily pick up the first down to the 35-yard line. Actually, gain of about 5 or 6 yards on the play. So we're down into territory now where Horizon Christian has got only once before and turned the ball over once they've gotten here. So let's see what they can do here in the third quarter, maybe put themselves on the board.
Well, that would be big for them to score here. And really, it's just all about now take care of the ball and execute. So now the call, we can hear it audibly, N14. So now everybody looks at their wristbands, and we know N14 is an out route.
And Esquerra nearly makes a one-handed grab, but slips away from him.
Now the ball, to be fair, the ball was thrown a little bit behind him, It would have been a tough catch to make as the ball behind him, but
you think David Lang's just kind of let the assistants take over here, a little frustrated with the laundry?
That's blowing off steam. That's what that is.
Oh, interception. They set up the screen, but nicely read by Micah Rupp, and he pulls it in with one hand. So the second turnover and fourth interception on the night for Zach Selland.
You know, and this is what's great, because at this level, you've got a kid who's playing linebacker who's got pretty good hands. That was a heck of a catch.
That was a great catch.
And he lines up at tackle on the offensive line. Who says linemen can't catch?
They've had 2 interceptions tonight, one from the center and one from the right guard, as the pass intended for Lang. Satterwhite was there to cause a little distraction, but 2 interceptions tonight for Santiam Christian. One from the center, Cody Manzi, and now from Micah Rupp. Another one of those big hog mollies up front.
Yeah.
Second down and 10. Schroeder hesitates, now throws, finds his man. Jancy on the run, inside the 40-yard line. First down for Santiam Christian. Schroeder double pumped that one, but I think he could have thrown it the first time and Jancy was open.
Yeah, Grimmett with the tackle for Horizon Christian. Great job of pass protection by Santiam Christian. And again, just physically up front on the line. They're much bigger, much more physical than the Hawk defense. Schroeder's really had, it's just like apples in a barrel.
And what a catch there by Jancy. He's able to turn what looked like it would be an incomplete pass into a gain of close to 2 to 3 yards on first down.
You know, what I know for certain is that George Crace, the head coach for Horizon Christian, this is going to be a learning experience for his young football team. And when you're building a program, it doesn't come as quickly as some people might want to think it can. But, you know, the good thing is they're taking those steps. They've advanced one step further this year than last. That's something to build on.
Schroeder throws it out. Catch made. Nope. Falls through his hands. Intended for Devin Horn. Out there on the coverage is Grimmett and also Breland. So third down and 8 now for Santiam Christian. Clock stopped, just about 6 minutes left to go in the third quarter.
Santiam Christian really wants to just kind of work on execution now. And so drop balls and penalties and things like that. Even though you're ahead 34-0, there's still part of you as a coach that says, we're not playing as well as we could have.
Schroeder keeps it on the draw, or on the option really, into the secondary, cuts outside, taken down from behind by Weber Michael, but not after another Eagle first down.
Well, and missed tackles in the secondary. It's just one of those things where, again, we keep saying it, but this is what you're going to get from young football teams. They have not been to a quarterfinal. And the fact that they've got here is a big deal, but boy, it's really all about executing and taking advantage of opportunities, and Horizon Christian just having a tough night tonight.
Lang takes the handoff up the middle. A true rumbling, bumbling, stumbling. Does he get to the end zone? He comes up just short. Down at the 2-yard line, a 21-yard run sets up first down and goal for the Eagles.
So Horizon Christian, again, back on their heels defensively. And that big front line for the Santiam Christian Eagles just really doing a great job, whether it's run or pass, opening up the running lanes.
Schroeder hands it off to Lang up the middle. He will walk into the end zone. So Lang's second touchdown on the night extends the Eagle lead out to 40-0 with 5:17 left here in the third.
And we probably should say it because it is a possibility in the high school football level if a team gets to 45 points. So the margin is 45 points or more. The clock will continue to run throughout the entire quarter.
High snap, Schroeder gets it down. Boot is up and through from Pelly, so missed the last one, made this one. He is now 4 for 5, make it 5 for 6 on the evening. 41-0, Santiam Christian on top. We'll keep it here.
You know, Fletcher, one of the things that you can tell watching Santiam Christian, they're having fun. I mean, this kind of reminds me of the days when you just line it up at recess and you spread the field out, and it's all about just hucking and chucking the ball all around, making big runs after the catch. And there's a lot to that. I mean, don't get me wrong, Santiam Christian, a disciplined football team, very good at executing, but you can just tell the kids are having fun. This offense that David Lang runs is exciting to watch, and it's very, very effective. And I'll tell you, as a defensive coordinator, it's tough to game plan against because you just don't know where they're going to be able to hit you.
Pelly will kick off. Once again, we'll kick it long, and Beelan will really kind of see his first action of the night. Takes it at the 15. Running sideways. Escapes one tackle, but taken down right near the 20-yard line. Close to the 21, and really probably one of the stories on the evening. Parker Beelan not more involved, has 16 receptions for 335 yards and 5 touchdowns on the season. The junior really has not seen any action here tonight. It's really been Selland, Grimmett, and also Cosner who have done anything for this Hawk offense as they take over 1st and 10 on the 22.
And Parker Beelan was one of those guys that you needed to see step up in a game like this. And Santiam Christian's done a good job of defending him.
Hand off up the middle to Grimmett. Nice pursuit from the backside as he's able to wrap up Grimmett. And Grimmett now down. He went down awkwardly as that pursuit from the backside came from Chase Hudson, who's really seeing his first action of the evening. Grimmett injured himself, it looked like, a bit on a play earlier on in this half, and we just wonder if it's kind of an extension of that injury.
Well, and as Grimmett is down, you're going to see players and coaches from both teams down on a knee. Typically, teams are going to do that as a sign of respect and just a source of encouragement and concern for the injured player. We hope that Grimmett is okay. As you mentioned, he'd actually been down a couple times early on in the game already.
We will check on the condition of Grimmett when we get back.
At Les Schwab, along with great prices, our tires come with the kind of protection most other places just don't give you, which includes free flat repairs, equal value replacements, pre-trip safety checks, and more for the entire life of the tire. With the other guys, you just never know.
41-0 back to action. Grimmett able to get up and walk off under his own power. 2nd down and 7, clock running. Under 5 minutes left to go out here at Horizon Christian High School. Santiam Christian with the 41-0 lead. Fletcher Johnson, Jim Patterson back with you. About 30 feet up in the air on some nice scaffolding here.
You finally got to that, didn't you?
I did.
Every movement I can feel. I'm trying not to look down.
The ladder was a little scary to climb up as Selland will look deep down the field. Really not a great throw, and Cosner, playing more of a defensive back than a wide receiver, nearly comes back and makes a grab.
Well, the lesson there for the defender is you've got to go get the football. And Cosner was the guy that came back to get it. It was almost as if Warburg figured out, well, the receiver's well behind me, and he kind of nonchalanted it, and here comes Cosner to break it up.
He was already thinking about what move he was going to make taking it back before he actually reeled it in. See that sometimes with some of these youngsters that are excited to just be out there. It'll be 3rd down and 7 for the Hawks. Eagles rush 4. Pressure comes. Ball released to Beelan. Makes a catch out near the 30. Flag does come out. And I think this is going to be a roughing the passer penalty, and if so, it'll be the second one of the half on the Eagles.
Well, either that or holding. And you're right, Fletch. It's roughing the passer.
The penalty on Nicholas Schlosser. So 1st down and 10 automatically for the Hawks as the ball will be moved out to the 46-yard line. So, yes, as mentioned, climbed up a nice ladder to get up on top of this scaffolding here.
That ladder is 1.5 feet wide.
Yeah, I am not a fan of heights, so it was a bit nerve-wracking for me coming up here, and I feel even worse for our engineers who got to carry all the equipment up here in addition to carrying themselves up the stairs, went up and down, or up the ladder, I should say, went up and down numerous times. So good work by all those guys to help us out and make our jobs that much easier.
Well, and one of the reasons that the situation is what it is, this is a new school. It's a new facility. They've got a great playing surface.
Yeah, as you can see on the TV.
Field, turf field, very, very nice. But obviously, as new schools go, particularly these types of private schools, it's all about funding, and this is just a press box and a home stadium with stands and visitors, just not quite there yet. So we do appreciate the fact that we have something to do, someplace to do the game from.
Absolutely.
Great perspective in terms of our camera. See the field, very, very nice. Actually, one of the better viewpoints we've had during the season.
As Beelan will make the catch out on the far side. Across midfield down to the 47-yard line. It'll set up third down. About 3 yards or so, 2 to 3 yards, as they will need to get the ball down inside the 45-yard line, close to the 44 if they want to convert this third down. It is a great vantage point for a game, not too high, not too far away from the field, easy to see the numbers, which is something that has been a bit of a challenge at different times this season. As the pressure will come quickly and read beautifully. I believe that's Cody Manzi.
Yeah.
Read it perfectly, read that snap count, takes down Grimmett behind the line, back for a 4-yard loss and 4th down and 7.
Well, what a way to come back into the game if you're Grimmett. Hello.
There's that big number 50, or 75, I should say, in the middle. Horizon Christian will call the timeout. We'll take it as well. 41-0, Santiam Christian on top here, 2:35 left in the third.
You see us at the start of the day. On the company phone list that's a few names longer. You see U.S. Bank on busier highways, on once empty fields. Every day, you see all the ways all of us at U.S. Bank are helping grow our economy, lending more so companies and communities can expand, grow stronger, and get back to work. Every day, you see all of us serving you, around the country, around the corner. U.S. Bank.
Back live here on OSAA.tv. Fletcher Johnson, Jim Patterson, just trying to figure out how, when the game eventually finishes, we're going to get down from the ladder.
Well, one thing you did not mention is we are at the top of the scaffolding, and there is no cut. We're out in the elements.
In the elements.
It feels like the frozen tundra up here.
Yes.
And I am so grateful that it is not raining.
Oh, man. Well, we might not be here if it was raining because we got nothing over our heads and a lot of electrical equipment up here. So 4th down, handoff, or pitch, I should say, will go to Grimmett. He's taken down, doesn't get anywhere near the sticks. He's taken down right at midfield, and the Hawks will turn it over on downs, and Santiam Christian will come out, take over, leading 41-0. And as Jim mentioned earlier, in case you're just joining us, Santiam Christian in the white helmets, white jerseys, and black pants. Horizon Christian in the black helmets, black jerseys, and black pants. Santiam Christian, if they score another touchdown, we go into the running clock mode here at the Oregon State football rules, as once you go above a 45-point lead, the clock will run automatically at all times. 1st down and 10 for Santiam Christian at their own 49-yard line. Schroeder still in the ballgame at quarterback. Puts Janzi in motion. Schroeder will keep it on the draw. Breaks an arm tackle, breaks a couple more tackles, and gets the ball down close to the 40-yard line. So once again, Jim, broken tackles by the Eagles have added to the yardage after contact.
Well, and one of the things that we'll probably see here, although I know Santiam Christian wants to put another 6 points on the board, I wouldn't be surprised if they run the football. Just keep it on the ground. Because to throw at this point almost feels like, you're putting a little salt in the wound. So let's see what David Lang decides here.
Schroeder throws a little shovel pass. Who was that? I would say it was number 56 who was in there and just leveled the intended target. Dalton McGrath, I believe, was the one that was in there and just leveled Pelly as the pitch came. So incomplete pass. That's always funny to see that shovel pass because every defender always goes and jumps on the ball because they think it's a fumble.
Well, it is a pass, and because it's behind the line of scrimmage, there can't be pass interference. He's fair game.
Fair game, baby. So 2nd down and 10 now at the 41-yard line. Schroeder goes the other direction. Bit of miscommunication between him and his running back, Lang. I'm sure he'll turn around and go, what's going on here? Lang, the coach's son, went to the left. Schroeder came out to the right. And you know what? When you're a good team, you still manage to get positive yards, and that's what Schroeder did, picking up about 5.
Well, and then you talk to your coach about the fact that, well, no, this was the hand motion, and I thought you meant this. And they're not on the same page, but they still pick up positive yards. I think the only thing the coach would like is, you know, the clock should continue to run, and unfortunately Schroeder ran it out of bounds.
Not back to the easy signals of my flag football days, as this pass falls incomplete at the feet of Lang, and it'll be 4th down and 5. But back in my days of football, if you will, it was a simple sweep like a broom, and then you stick the hand out to the right or the left, and you know, sweep right or sweep left. Guess you have to get things a little bit more complicated here at the high school level.
I think so.
So Santiam Christian will go for it. Pass quickly thrown across the middle. Catch made by Horn. He's down inside the 10. Off to the races into the end zone. Devin Horn goes 35 yards on 4th down and 5. Touchdown, Eagles.
Well, and the thing that's impressive is what he does after he catches a football. I mean, clearly he was open on the slant route, and Schroeder got it to him right on the numbers. But then the moves that he made after the catch, really impressive. And this is, I'll tell you, Santiam Christian is going to be a tough out from here on out because they've got so many weapons. And Schroeder, he's a great little quarterback. I mean, he has command of the offense, and he's really good. If he can stay away from trying to force things a bit too much and throw turnovers, throw interceptions, they'll make it to the state championship game.
Extra point wide left from Pelly, but it's 47-0. And really you could argue that it should be 2 touchdowns more for the Eagles. But as it stands, 47-0, 1:42 left in the 3rd quarter, as it was Devin Horn who took it 35 yards to the house on 4th down and 5 to extend this Santiam Christian lead. We'll try and get some updates for you elsewhere in 3A as the Santiam Christian Eagles will take on the winner of Willamina and Dayton. At halftime in that game, Dayton had the lead 22-8. Elsewhere in the 3A bracket, when you look down at the bottom part of the bracket, it will be Rainier and Scio who have been really in a battle. Rainier had the lead at halftime 15-14 in that one. And then Pleasant Hill taking on Cascade Christian. So as we said, we'll try and get you some score updates from those games, as down at the 3A level, a little bit more difficult to find scores, unlike up at the 6A level.
Well, unless teams have got people who are calling them in, and typically the locations are scattered just a little bit. So now we are in that running clock mode as the white hat came over and talked to the official scorer and timer. So unless there's an injured player or a team timeout or after a score, that clock runs the whole time.
Kickoff taken by Beelan at the 20, picks up 5 yards out to the 25.
So typically there'd be a clock stoppage here as they would set the chains and move the yardage. Now the clock is going to stop because we've got an injured Horizon Christian player. Otherwise, the clock continues to run.
That's Parker Beelan who brought the kickoff back. Not sure what's wrong. And we will jump out to break. Minute 23 left here in the 3rd quarter. Santiam Christian on top, 47-0.
At Les Schwab, along with great prices, our tires come with the kind of protection most other places just don't give you, which includes free flat repairs, equal value replacements, pre-trip safety checks, and more for the entire life of the tire. With the other guys, well, you just never know. So why is free protection on your tires good to have?
Lifetime protection. That's our best tire value promise. Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
You see us at the start of the day. On the company phone list that's a few names longer. You see U.S. Bank on busier highways, on once empty fields. Every day, you see all the ways all of us at U.S. Bank are helping grow our economy, lending more so companies and communities can expand, grow stronger, and get back to work. Every day, you see all of us serving you around the country, around the corner. U.S. Bank.
Back live at Horizon Christian High School, Fletcher Johnson, Jim Patterson on OSAA.TV. It's all Santiam Christian at this point as they will move on to the semifinal round to take on the winner of Willamina and Dayton. It's first down and 10 for the Hawks as Parker Beelan got up under his own power, had some cramping. Sellen takes the carry out past the 40-yard line. That's easily his best carry on the evening. And it's a first down for the Hawks. The Santiam Christian coaches having some of the backups in there and urging them to step it up. This time Sellen will be taken down right at the line of scrimmage. And in there, number 34, Tanner Butler, in on the tackle.
Santiam Christian right now with a number of substitutes in on defense. So an opportunity for some of the younger guys, the second or third team fellas, spot substitutions. And we're running down to the end of the third quarter. And again, we're in the running time situation, so the clock's going to continue to run throughout the fourth quarter. The only time it'll stop would be after a score, an injured player, or a team timeout.
So that'll do it for 3 quarters of action. 1 quarter left to go. This one squarely in the hands of Santiam Christian. We'll be back for the final 12 minutes after this here on OSAA.TV.
At Les Schwab, along with great prices, our tires come with the kind of protection most other places just don't give you. Which includes free flat repairs, equal value replacements, pre-trip safety checks, and more for the entire life of the tire. With the other guys, you just never know. So why is free protection on your tires a good thing?
Lifetime protection. That's our best tire value promise. Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
Back live for the fourth quarter of action here on OSAA.TV. Fletcher Johnson, Jim Patterson back with you for 12 minutes more. And we will have a running clock here in the fourth quarter as Santiam Christian on top 47-0. Temperature hanging right around 45 degrees here, although my toes tell me that it's about 20.
It is a bit chilly.
Tad bit nippy out here. I had to think about that. Great line from a movie right there. Nice catch made by Costner down at the 45-yard line. It's arguably one of their best passing plays of the evening there for Horizon Christian.
So now this is interesting because for the officials, obviously they're trained that when the ball is caught inbounds and goes out of bounds, they're going to wave the signal to stop the clock, but that's not the case now as it continues to run, even though the official on the sideline is waving for the timeout.
It'll be first down and 10 for Horizon Christian at the 45-yard line of the Eagles. They'll throw it once again. Costner on the receiving end and gets down to the 35-yard line, and they'll mark him out at the 34. So Santiam Christian no longer with their starting defense in the game, have some backups in there. And Horizon Christian moving the ball into deeper and deeper into Eagle territory.
Well, and the benefit is that you get your starters off the field. They get some rest, but also not going to get injured. And the young guys who don't typically get to play get some playoff action.
Nice throw by Sellen, finds his man. That's Kyle Esquera down to the 15-yard line.
So Horizon Christian with a little something going here. Nice pass, nice catch. Sellen to Esquera. And again, this is really, you know, you're playing for next season. You're playing for the experience. Clearly, you're not going to win the football game, but you want to finish strong.
Throw the ball out this time to Isaiah Hill, who is taken down near the 10-yard line, and out there on the tackle, looks like Austin Howell out there making his first tackle on the evening. Sprague on top of Tualatin, 10-0 with 2:11 left to play.
Have you got a Lake Oswego score?
Lake Oswego, the last I saw, was blowing out South Medford. They were up 41-7, I want to say. Redmond up 14-0 on Crescent Valley as Horizon Christian on the board. Zach Selland on the run. 10 yards on second down has the Hawks on the board with 9:26 left in the fourth quarter.
Well, you still have to execute the play, and Selland did a nice job. He found the crease. Good job of blocking up front by the Hawk offensive line. And they put one in the end zone, 47-6 here before the extra point.
Southridge blowing out Century 41-8. Sherwood having a little bit more of a struggle than probably some people would have thought. 35-24 on top of Springfield with 11:32 left in regulation. That at the 5A level.
Well, Springfield actually played pretty well all season. I think some folks up in these parts that watch Sherwood play a lot and score on an average of, I think, 52 or 53 points a game, figured that maybe that was going to be a walk in the park. But, you know, you never can underestimate playoff games, because now we're at the point where it's one and done, and you'll find teams that can really get up. And if you're playing the number one ranked team in the state, like Springfield is, they're going to bring it. And so Sherwood's they've got their hands full tonight.
They do have their hands full. As we look in at some other games, Marist on top of Mountain View 21-10. Tigard in the fourth quarter up big on Canby 35-7. The score you've been waiting for, Oakland beating Gold Beach 34-6.
Yes.
Scio and Rainier in a close one right now in the fourth quarter, 22-21. Scio has the lead.
Wow, good ball game. Rainier and the Diesel.
Lake Oswego on top of South Medford 41-14. Central Catholic in a battle with Sunset 21-14. West Salem in the fourth quarter up 28-25 on Aloha. As this kickoff will go down and trickle into the end zone. So just the second time the Hawks have kicked off all night. This one rolls into the end zone for a touchback. It'll be 1st and 10 Santiam Christian on their own 20-yard line. It looks like we have a change at quarterback for the Eagles as Keaton Corrado, the 5'11", 175-pound sophomore, will come in to take over. Grant Schroeder's night is done. He certainly had a great game tonight, and it will be time to turn the keys over to the young sophomore.
So with a Santiam Christian win, they will be playing, I think, the winner of Dayton and Willamina.
Which the latest score update we have is 22-8 in favor of Dayton. Quick handoff going left. Nice moves. Number 24.
Wow.
We do not have a name for number 24, at least in this program. Let's see if we can find something here. Do not have a name for number 24 in either program, unfortunately. It's tough. You'd like to give these kids a mention, but...
Well, here's the deal. He knows who he is. If he watches the archive, he'll know he's the red-sleeved whirling dervish out there on the field.
And picked up some good yardage on first down, although this time Corrado fumbles the ball and has to go back and cover it as zone 11. So after a very positive gain of 8 yards on first down, they lose 17 on second down. It'll be 3rd down and 19. And actually, they say it was at the 13, so it'll be 3rd down and 17.
And Fletcher, this is important time right here because, again, this is a one-and-done deal, and Schroeder, being such a big part of the offense for the Eagles, it's really good to be able to get the backup some experience and some game time in the playoffs. Even though it's 47-7, you know, stepping out on the field and having to take snaps, those kinds of things are really important because as they go deeper into the playoffs, you know, one man down, somebody else has got to come in and pick up the slack.
3rd down and 16, clock running. And he'll punt this one away on 3rd down.
On 3rd down.
So just a little Randall Cunningham, Philadelphia Eagle action there, punting it away on 3rd down.
Very interesting decision. I think I understand why.
I think the other interesting thing is that the clock is still running, even though the lead is under 45.
Yeah.
The game is certainly not in doubt, so there's no concern in that sense like there was in the St. Louis-San Francisco game last Sunday when 1 minute and 2 seconds ran off the clock during a timeout, and the officials didn't notice until after the next play, so they couldn't put the time back on the clock, and that game ended in a tie. But Sellen will look to throw on 1st down. Kyle Esquera trying to make the catch, and he's hit hard by that red-sleeved whirling dervish, as Jim said, on the defensive side of the ball this time. Clock stops. Nope, still running. 47-7. Santiam Christian on top, 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, once they get to the 45 margin, that's why the white hat will go over to both teams and say, all right, we've now hit that threshold. And it won't matter now what happens depending on score. The clock continues to run.
Sellen looks down the field. Parker Beelan was the intended receiver. Just couldn't reel that one in. It'll be 3rd down and 10 now.
And I guess the appropriate term is it's like the mercy rule. So in softball, I think you get ahead 10 runs.
Yeah. You play 5 innings instead of 7.
You play 5 innings instead of 7. And also, I mean, it really helps for the team that's ahead. You know, the last thing you really want to do is continue to run score. It keeps people from running up the score, that there's a perception of running up the score with the clock running. And neither one of these coaches would do that. But I think it's a good rule that once they get to the 45, it just runs.
Quick throw out to Cosner. Finds a lot of running room. Got a blocker out front. Can he get to the end zone? No, but he's taken down inside the 10-yard line down at the 7. So a 30-yard gain on 3rd down and 10. And Horizon Christian once again threatening to put some more points up on the board here with 5 minutes left in the 4th quarter.
Well, one thing the running clock does is it creates a real sense of urgency for both teams. Horizon Christian wants to get up to the ball and try to put another one in the end zone. So they're wasting no time to get on the ball.
Sellen will roll right. And now we'll come back to the left. He'll tuck it up and run. Takes it down inside the 5, down close to the 3 before he's taken down on the play by Hayden Milligan. The sophomore linebacker takes him down. And as this one, with Horizon Christian threatening to score again, so is Rainier. We'll tell you about that in a second, but Sellen will take it and walk it into the end zone. Touchdown, Horizon Christian. 2 touchdown runs for Zach Sellen here in the 4th quarter. And Horizon Christian adding a little confidence moving into next season.
Well, it's good they're on the board and that they've been able to score more than once. Obviously, when the game score comes out tomorrow, some might think that it was a little closer than it actually was. Again, Santiam Christian has gone to some 2nd and 3rd team kids, which is great. They get playoff experience.
Extra point is up and through. So 47-14. We'll jump out to the break, tell you about what's going on in that Rainier-Scio game when we come back. 4:12 left in the 4th here at Horizon Christian High School.
You see us at the start of the day. On the company phone list that's a few names longer. You see U.S. Bank on busier highways, on once empty fields. Every day, you see all the ways all of us at U.S. Bank are helping grow our economy, lending more so companies and communities can expand, grow stronger, and get back to work. Every day, you see all of us serving you around the country, around the corner. U.S. Bank.
I don't remember either. We are back here on OSAA.tv.
All right, here we go for kickoff.
4:12 left.
Trying to recall who that first touchdown was scored by early in the game, very first one of the game.
One of our engineers, James Connors, trying to remember who scored the first touchdown of the game for Santiam Christian.
It's so cold we can't use pens or pencils or write anything.
And it's so cold our brains are practically frozen trying to think back that far. But Horizon Christian will kick off. Grimmett kicks it off. It'll be taken at the 15-yard line by the Eagles. Good burst of speed, but runs into a brick wall at the 25-yard line. Does number 22, who is also wearing red sleeves and is also not in your program. So we did tell you about what was going on, or told you that we'd let you know what was going on in that Scio Rainier game. It has gone final, 30-21. Scio moves on to the semifinal round of the 3A playoffs, and they will await the winner of Pleasant Hill and Cascade Christian. Currently, the score that we have from that game is 0-0, although you'd like to believe that some points are on the board in that game. Also, still believe that Dayton on top of Willamina 22-8, and Santiam Christian will take on the winner of that game, as Dayton, the number 1 seed in the top half of the bracket at the 3A level. Also very interesting that West Salem up on Aloha 38-31 in the very late stages of the third quarter.
And we've talked about some substitutions for Santiam Christian. Defensively, the Hawks have put some new players out on the field. Number 16, Weston Groth, is playing outside linebacker for the Hawks. Shout out to his dad, who's the chief of police in Sherwood, Chief Jeff Groth. I'm sure very proud to see his son in the game here, a playoff game against a very good football team.
Keeping the peace in Sherwood, and his son's trying to keep the peace on the field as well, as this time a short gain on the play. It'll set up third down and very long with just over 2 minutes left to go here in the fourth quarter.
Well, this is always a great time of year. You hit the playoffs, and again, that whole idea that, you know, somebody's season is going to end from here on out. And it's exciting to see how teams react to that. Santiam Christian, clearly one of the elite teams at the 3A level, and they'll advance again to play the winner of Dayton or Willamina next week in the semis.
Nice catch on the bad snap there, and the handoff on the fly sweep going to the outside. Taken out close to the 25-yard line as Tyler Villers took the handoff. And it will be fourth down and about 10 yards. So the ball back to the original line of scrimmage. And this ball will likely be punted with under a minute left to go here in the fourth quarter.
Well, and it's funny because a lot of what's happening from the Santiam Christian sideline, this is a substitution and creating, you know, plays on the fly here as they try to get the right personnel. And again, they're dealing with a number of kids who don't typically play, but now they're in punt formation. Here we go.
The punt is away, high up in the air. It'll bounce at the 47-yard line, start to roll backwards and be grabbed at really about the 46.
And that's probably going to wind up doing it unless Horizon Christian can. See, there's the sense of urgency. Boy, you see those kids coming on the field.
They don't want the season to be over quite yet.
With the little extra giddy up, they've got 25 seconds to get off a play. And, Coach, maybe we can put another 6 on the board.
Beeland and Hall split wide right. Esquera and Cosson split wide left. Handoff goes up the middle to Grimmett. Grimmett breaks a couple tackles, still on his feet, down to the 25-yard line.
That's going to do it.
And that will do it. So Santiam Christian, an impressive performance here tonight on the road. They are the number 3 seed, and they will move on to face the winner of Dayton and Willamina just 2 steps away from the ultimate prize, the 3A state championship. We will come back as the excitement is just never ending as this scaffolding just shaking like a tree in the breeze. We'll come back, get you a player of the game, and wrap things up here from Horizon Christian High School. 47-14, Santiam Christian gets the victory here on OSAA.tv.
At Les Schwab, along with great prices, our tires come with the kind of protection most other places just don't give you, which includes free flat repairs, equal value replacements, pre-trip safety checks, and more for the entire life of the tire. With the other guys, well, you just never know. So why is free protection on your tires good to have?
Lifetime protection. That's our best tire value promise. Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
Got ejected.